Lesson 38. The Quiet North Star. How your presence becomes a spiritual orientation for others. There comes a moment in the journey of a quiet soul when your presence begins to do something deeper than guide, than strengthen, than support. It begins to orient. People begin to look to you not for answers, not for instruction, not for direction, but for alignment. Your presence becomes a kind of spiritual North Star, a steady point that helps others find their own way, not because you speak much, not because you lead visibly, not because you position yourself as a teacher, but because your life has become a quiet reference point. Early Christian teachers called this silent orientation. Modern psychology calls it implicit guidance. The desert monks called it simply the one who shows the way by being. This lesson is about that orientation, the orientation that flows not from authority, but from inner clarity. 1. Why quiet souls become spiritual reference points. A quiet soul is whole, steady, gentle, truthful, peaceful, luminous, wise, spiritually aligned. When these qualities mature, they create something rare. Inner direction. People feel it. People trust it. People align themselves near it. The ancient teachers wrote, "The one who knows where he stands helps others stand." Modern psychology agrees. People orient themselves around those who are internally anchored. Your inner direction becomes outer orientation. 2. The three qualities of a spiritual North Star. Clarity that reveals direction. Quiet clarity does not tell people where to go. It helps them see where they need to go. Consistency that builds trust. When your inner life is consistent, people feel safe using your presence as a point of reference. Stillness that creates perspective. Stillness is not inactivity. Stillness is depth. Depth gives others perspective. These three qualities form a steady presence that helps others orient themselves without being directed. 3. How spiritual orientation transforms relationships. When your presence becomes a North Star, your relationships deepen. People come to you not for solutions, but for clarity. People seek you not for advice, but for perspective. People trust you not because you speak, but because you stand. Spiritual orientation creates deeper trust, quieter conversations, clearer decisions, shared discernment, gentle accountability. Modern psychology calls this implicit leadership, guidance that happens without explicit instruction. 4. How spiritual orientation shapes your actions. When your life becomes a point of orientation, your actions change. You act from clarity, steadiness, truth, compassion, alignment, discernment. Your movements become slower but more meaningful. Your words become fewer but more directional. Your choices become quieter but more influential. The monks wrote, "The one who stands in truth becomes a signpost." 5. The paradox of spiritual orientation. The less you try to guide others, the more they orient themselves near you. The less you try to influence decisions, the more your presence influences them. The less you try to be a spiritual reference, the more you become one. Because orientation is not something you provide. Orientation is something you embody. The desert monks said, "The one who is aligned becomes a compass." 6. How to cultivate the life of a spiritual North Star. Deepen your inner alignment. Alignment creates direction. Every aligned choice strengthens your clarity. Practice quiet consistency. Consistency builds trust. Trust creates orientation. Stay rooted in stillness. Stillness expands perspective. Perspective guides others. Orientation grows one quiet decision at a time. 7. Prayer as the source of spiritual orientation. Prayer is not only wisdom, not only strength, not only transformation. Prayer is direction. Prayer gives the soul the orientation it cannot create alone. A simple prayer is enough. Lord, align me with your truth. Lord, make my presence steady. Lord, let others find direction near me. Direction is not taken. Direction is given. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with me. If this lesson brought you peace, consider sharing it with someone who may need it. Until next time, stay gentle with your soul.